Hello everyone and welcome to this new year. I start the year off with a simple painting, I guess. It was quite hard to get back into the flow, and I had this one laying around. I recorded this last year somewhere. Well, the first part of it, the second part I did this year, and to get back into the flow I was like, let's continue with this one. The base is decent, and I think we can make a decent painting out of it. So it's mostly painting, some textures in the beginning to establish the mood, to establish the painting, some greens, stuff like that, and some texture for the mountain. But soon enough we'll start painting, and I started this one off with the idea of making a fantasy landscape, but in the end it turned out to be a sci-fi landscape and a sci-fi city. So yeah, hopefully you had a good holiday. The holidays were good to you, were kind to you, and happy New Year to everyone. By the way, it's a new year, and hopefully this year we can do a lot more in terms of painting and growing a channel, stuff like that. It's exciting, I think. Hopefully, so yes, let's take this journey together, and there will be one painting every year, no, not every year, every week this year. That's at least the plan. So the end, we should have 52 paintings at the end of the year, so that's decent. Maybe I will do some more at a certain period in the year. I have some things planned, but I don't want to spoil too much. But I want to do some challenges with a painting a day, stuff like that. But that is currently not the case. For now, we just need to get back into the flow, get back to the saddle, and start painting. You see me adding some. Well, I already added some buildings, and the scene, the overall scene, is starting to come together. But I struggled a lot with the structures. I was like, do I make them buildings? Do I make them sort of monolith type structures? I wasn't really sure, but I just continued chipping away at the painting. At some point, I changed the lighting a little bit, or quite a bit actually, and I'm still not sure if I should have done that, because I think this is a really good base for a fantasy landscape. You can go from here, just refine it, add some stuff to the building, stuff like that. And maybe I should have done that, but I decided to go quite radical with it. Well, the design of the buildings doesn't really change that much, but here you see me add that those images. This is how it ended up. It's quite a dramatic change in terms of the lighting scenario. It's a little bit more popping the light, and we have the pink on the buildings. And I did it, and I was like, oh, this looks quite cool. But then after a while, I wasn't really sure what to do with it, and I was like, maybe I should not have done it. But then I was too far into the painting to do something about it. So I could have started over, but I wasn't really. I didn't really want to do that, so I was like, let's just continue with it. Well, I laid it aside at some point, and then it laid in a folder for a couple of months until this week. Then I was browsing through my folders to get some inspiration. I started some sword designs. I was like, nah, I don't really want to do it. I want to go back into landscapes, because that's really, I'm not only it's not only my not only most skilled in landscapes. I just like to do them. I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I like doing landscapes more than, for instance, sword designs or gun designs or stuff like that. I can do that, of course, but it's just something about landscapes, majestic landscapes with big waterfalls. Here you see the new footage. You can actually see that because I recorded directly from Photoshop rather than a different window, and the first bit of recording was done in a separate window. So this is the new stuff from this week. I was like, yeah, let's just start easy by just cleaning up everything a little bit. I lost my custom brushes, by the way. Not I didn't lose them, but when I started this painting, I was still using them. And if you followed the channel, you know that I got rid of them not so long ago. So here we're using the legacy brushes. They come with Photoshop. They're a little bit hidden. There is a video. I will link it where you can where I explain how you can get the legacy brushes. I'm a little bit rusty. I don't know if you noticed. I may edit the audio a little bit, but I'm a little bit rusty to talk with the commentary. I didn't really want to write a script, as I said before. I'm not too much into scripting my videos. I just like to watch the thing that I made and just talk about it, ramble along a little bit, and just go from there. So just don't have very interesting things to say, I guess. It's just you can see what's going on. If you have any specific questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, of course. Maybe I will do some more tutorial-like videos in the future if people want to. But I just like to make stuff, to paint stuff, and then create a video about it. Just ramble on it and just talk about what's going on and stuff like that. But let me know what you like in the comments. So yeah, I added some light from some images of cities. I set them to screen so the lights pop a little bit. In the end, I think most of the images that I used for the lights are gone, and I actually put a lot of time in just to painting individual lights, and I don't know, it was kind of relaxing to do that. I tend to grab images fairly quickly for stuff like that, and usually it doesn't really fit perfectly, and rather than find the perfect image, I just put it on and just see what I can do with it. And sometimes it works, sometimes it just makes it a little bit messy. So this time I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a lot of the lights just by hand, and that way it's also fine, hopefully. Just a lot of suggestion of detail, because these buildings are really far away, so you can't really see exactly what's going on, but want to know that these structures are massive. As you can see, there's a ton of lights going on there, and every light is probably one little building or a little room. It's buildings, so by having all those lights, you can see that this is actually a massive city with massive structures. That's sort of what we're trying to convey there. So here we are selecting. I shouldn't talk about here we are, because I'm probably going to add it to audio. So that's a problem. I am rewatching the footage and I'm commenting on it, but I might edit the audio a little bit, and then the audio is not in sync with what's on screen. I made that mistake before, so maybe I should work on that a little bit more, because I wanted to talk about selecting the building background to add some atmospheric fog. But if I was going to edit the audio, it would be at the same time as you saw it on the image. So yeah, really rusty today in terms of commenting, as I said before. Yeah, and from now on, it's mainly just detailing. The painting in the end is still quite rough. As you know, I like to keep my paintings rough. I probably should have spent a little bit more on it. As I say every video, as I say every painting. This one, I think I spent about 3 hours on total, I think. So 3 hours for a rough painting. I think that's fairly decent. So you can pump out 2 of these a day if you want to. And yeah, what else do I need to talk about? I don't even know the resolution. Oh, we can see the resolution of the image in the bottom left corner. It's 7,500 pixels wide. It's fairly big, but that really makes the brushes really nice. And if you want to do the tiny details like the lights and stuff, you can grab a brush which is probably like 20 pixels wide, and it makes a tiny light. So that's why using a big file size can be really handy. I think I tend to go too small on my canvas sizes. Usually work around 4,000 pixels, and then I struggle with the smaller brush strokes, and I didn't really have that with this one. So I should keep that in mind to keep my images like 7 or 8,000 pixels wide. Probably a fairly decent size to go from. So yeah, from now on, it's just adding lights, adding detail, cleaning up the mountains a little bit in the background, and there's not too much going on. I hope you like it, and if you do, make sure to subscribe. We might do live streams, more live streams this year. I'm not really sure if I want to keep them on the YouTube channel or if I want to switch to Twitch for live streaming. I'm really struggling with that. I'm not sure, but for now, I think I'm gonna focus on the videos first, get back into the flow, because we just had the holidays. It always takes me a little bit of time to sort of get my bearings straight and to get going again. And once we have done, I will probably think about live streaming and stuff like that. But for now, we'll just focus on the videos, so it may take a few weeks. And I may do a poll on the community tab about live streaming, and hopefully enough people will respond to sort of make a decision based on that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.